Okay, so I wanted to switch it up today. Instead of talking about work, I wanted to talk about some male rights. And one of them is circumcision. And I remember a few years ago, it made the news, national news, actually world news, when somewhere in Africa they were doing female mutilation, genital mutilation. And they were like, oh, how barbaric, this and that. And I was at college at the time as well. And I brought up to my professor, who was a female, what about male mutilation? And she was like, what are you talking about? Like circumcision? I mean, it happens here in freaking the United States all the time, and nobody bats an eye. She goes, oh, well, that's different. I'm like, how so? Well, that's because it's not as bad. I'm like, it's not as bad, so it's I guess it's okay. Yeah, and then she really didn't really have an argument, and she goes, well, it's not the same thing, this and that, and I was like, I've heard this by women a lot that are really vocal on rights, especially when it comes to female genital mutilation. They don't really are vocal or care about guys' issues, you know. Even though it's the same principle, you know. You have a child who is not making a decision. Shouldn't that decision be made? That child or that person should make that decision when they are an adult. You know, let them, if they want to be circumcised, let them get the operation if they choose to, you know, once they become educated on it. Yeah, but I this is just something, like I said, I've noticed a lot of liberals they're kind of quiet on this, and I don't want to say just liberals, because this is not a liberal or conservative issue, but I would expect liberals to be more vocal on this because they're of the my body, my choice type movement. But when it comes to this, it's not the same thing. So let me play this clip. It's a Joe Rogan clip. I'm gonna react to this, and then I'll give you some more insight. And I just randomly, I always, anytime I look up for a subject, I just type it in, and the Joe Rogan, for some reason, I guess he talks about everything. So
the Joe Rogan Experience.
Who do you like for president?
Well, I was just telling Jamie that I spent New Year's in New Hampshire with Andrew Yang and the Yang Gang, because I'm writing about him.
Right.
And I have to tell you, like, I'm really not just saying this, the power of the what I'm calling like the Rogan effect, it was insane. Like, I went down the line waiting to get into this bar. It was snowing outside, and I just like asked everybody, how'd you hear about Andrew Yang? Like 80% of them was from your podcast. It was really unbelievable. I like his energy.
yeah, this is also an older clip. I think it's 2018, and or maybe 2016. Who knows? I also heard about Andrew Yang from the Joe Rogan podcast.
Energy. I don't know if I agree with him on, like, I don't have strong views about UBI or what he calls the freedom dividend, $1,000 a month. I don't know what I think about that. He's like against circumcision. He's like all these views about things.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I agree with him on most of his things.
Against circumcision? You don't agree with that?
No.
Really?
Yeah. No,
You
that's
cut
not.
baby dicks?
I'm not like passionate about that.
See, again, women kind of, and again, I kind of understand it, is because you might just be biased towards your own sex, but the principle stands there. You know, I don't know if this chick is a liberal or not, but it just seems like when it's not convenient for them, they don't care. You know.
Are you?
Yeah, people lose their dicks. A lot of kids every year. Do you know children die from that?
They
Children
lose their
die.
dicks?
Yes, all the time. It's very common.
Really?
Yes, like multiple children
I don't know about this, if this is true or not.
per year lose their penis from an unnecessary, antiquated operation where you cut off their dicks to make it look different.
Okay.
You're cutting skin off of their dick, and they wind up getting infected and they lose their dicks. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time,
Uh-huh.
but it happens enough time where you go, this should never happen.
I know too in some cultures, they it's like a rabbi, like in the Jewish culture, it's a rabbi bites it off of a baby. First of all, that's unsanitary, right? Like some dude's mouth is it, and then a dude's mouth is on a baby dick. So how is that legal? You know?
This is a completely unnecessary operation. Robert Baker
Oh, is
estimates
this like
229 deaths per year from circumcision in the United States. Bollinger estimates that approximately 119 infant boys die from circumcision related each year in the U.S. 1.3% of all male neonatal deaths from all causes. There are several case reports of death in the medical literature. Yeah, it's not simple. You're cutting skin. Skin is an organ. You have an unnecessary, and I'm circumcised. You have an unnecessary operation that you're doing to an infant, and it's decorative.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a joke about it.
And you
like,
don't buy any of the studies about how it prevents STDs and
No, I don't. Wash your dick.
I cannot.
Yeah, and those studies, if you think about them, they're kind of bullshit because who are, generally speaking, like, if you were to do studies a while back, like 50 years ago, who are the people who were circumcised mainly? They're like the ultra religious people, like ultra religious Jews and ultra religious, I don't know, maybe Catholics. And obviously, you're gonna see less STDs when people who are more monogamous, they're having sex with just one partner, so the likelihood of them having an STD is not as likely, you know. And I guess they didn't factor that in. They were like, oh, these people have circumcised dicks and they don't have the same STDs as these people, so that must be it.
Not believe we're talking about
We
this.
should be talking about it. Well, why not? Kids are dying. Like, how many of them have?
And look how quick she was just to pull up some BS like that.
Die before we say this is a ancient, ridiculous ritual. Doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
I've seen the arguments for and against, like that it prevents STDs. Like, look, you know what prevents STDs? Condoms and abstinence.
Mm-hmm.
That's what prevents STDs. And in some cases,
You know, it's like, well, why not just chop off the dick? That will prevent a lot of STDs, you know. Why half-ass it? Go all the way.
vaccinations. This is what prevents STDs. This circumcision.
It could also be maybe the guys who are circumcised don't want to have sex because they're like, ah, fuck, man, it's all butchered and shit.
is ridiculous. Doesn't even make any sense.
Okay, cannot believe I stumbled into this because I was talking about Andrew Yang.
You fucked up.
I guess I did. I didn't know this was like a strongly held.
I've seen this chick before. I think she's a journalist from like the New York Times or something. And I remember her when it was she was talking shit about Tulsi Gabbard, and after that, like her credibility kind of went down because she was just making shit up, and she got called out for it.
You're an intactivist. Is that what they're
Yes.
called?
Whatever. Intactivist. That's a good way of putting it. I've never heard that expression, but that's exactly what I am. Yeah. Don't cut baby dicks. It's real simple. When you say it that way, people go, "Yeah, that sounds gross." When you say, "Oh, circumcision," like, "Oh, what a wonderful ritual," and it's symbolic of your journey until the fuck out of here. You're cutting baby dicks. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not
I think that's what I'm gonna title this video.
as disgusting as what they do to women's clitorises in certain
that makes it
Muslim
impossible to,
communities.
like,
yes,
have an
to
orgasm.
It's a different reason for doing it, but you're mutilating a kid. You're just doing it in a way that's okay. Like if you cut a piece of my earlobe off, I'm gonna be all right.
I don't know. I'm from a family of 4 daughters. I have not thought deeply about. I did not know that statistic until you put it up there.
Not good. Yeah, most people don't know it. And I've talked to people who have had immediate family members who have had horrible illnesses or injuries from circumcision. It's terrible.
Yeah, so like again, I'm not against circumcision. I'm just saying leave it up to the person once they're old enough. You know, once they're an adult, if that's what they want to do, let them do it. or the female mutilation, whatever. If they want to do it when they're an adult, let them do it. Whether let's just say it is truth, that it is the truth that it prevents less STDs. All right, cool. Why not? Still, it should be up to that person when they're an adult. That's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts. Are you pro or against cutting baby dicks? All right. And also, how do you feel about it that it was done to you? Me personally, I kind of hate it because I got like a scar up and down my dick, and I thought, I wonder if they did it right, because it doesn't look good. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts if they did it to you and you have a negative side effect.